Hi guys, and welcome to this series where I cast your games. Remember, if you want me to cast one of your solo queue, clash, or maybe one of your flex game, feel free to comment your summoner name down in the comments, and yeah, maybe I'll take a look at one of your games. But today we are taking a look at this Diana from blue team, from blue side. His name is HCC Positive. He's a 7-season silver player, has been in gold a couple of seasons. This season I think he is silver 2 at the moment, and he's a Diana and Echo main player. So we get to see him on his main champion in this game into a red side team that can actually allow this Diana to pop off in the mid to late game, because they have a Senna, they have a Jhin, they have a Fiddlesticks and a Corgi. All these players are great targets for Diana, which when she gets to level 6 and gets that Moonfall available to her. So there's the potential for a pop-off game here for our protagonist for this episode of casting your games. Yeah, so if we take a look at the teams, as I already said, the Diana, a very great pick into the very squishy and not so mobile members of the red team. We have the Gangplank in the top lane facing off against a Darius, which is obviously a kind of a tough lane for Gangplank. If Darius manages to hit his apprehend, his E, his hook, or whatever you want to call it, onto the Gangplank, he can do some serious damage, because we've probably all played against a Darius in solo queue, and if he gets to hit us with a couple of basic attacks, procs his bleed, he simply wins all trades. If Gangplank can manage to keep his distance, well, he always has his parley. It's great poke. He has his orange that he can need for health. So it can be a decent lane for this Gangplank if he's a good enough player to keep his distance and just poke with the parley, as we just saw here. But yeah, Darius will obviously be looking for some all-in with the summoners he has. He has Ghost, Ignite, so he wants to look to maybe find this Gangplank pushing up the lane at some point, maybe level 4 or 5 or level 6 when he has the Noxian Guillotine available to him, and try and look for a 1 versus 1 kill. In the jungle matchup, we have the Diana, we have the Fiddlesticks. Both junglers have great clear. I expect them both to just farm for level 6. Diana has fine ganks, Fiddlesticks not so much pre-level 6. But I expect both junglers here to just farm for level 6, even though this is a silver game, so usually people that just look for kills all the time. But these two champs doesn't really do a lot before level 6. You only want to go for the obvious ganks. Diana is actually topside here, taking the topside scuttle, while Fiddlestick goes for the full clear instead. So Diana can look for a gank here. It looks like Darius has some vision in the topside river, so I don't think that they will get the kill onto Darius in this round. Fiddlesticks is also moving topside here, so it can be a 2v2, but it looks like nothing will really happen here in the top lane. I do not recommend blue team to go for the fight against a Darius in a 2 versus 2 this early into the game. So yeah, that's the top and jungle matchup. In the middle lane, or in the bot lane, I think we should rather talk about when we see it here. Looks like there's an all-in. Kai'Sa flashes forward. I think she missed the Void Seeker. They ignite the Jhin, and it ends up being... or actually, no one ends up going down here. The Kai'Sa locks into the Jhin Senna. So we have double range supports. 2 ADCs. Kai'Sa obviously wants to scale, so does Jhin. I think that let's see what happens here. There's pops the Ghost, but Diana is here for the game. Will they get the first blood onto Darius? They get the first blood onto Darius. Will Gangplank go down to the bleed? He does, so it ends up being a 1-for-1, and actually not that great for Gangplank. He doesn't get the kill, and he ends up giving the kill over to the Darius. But at the meantime, Fiddlesticks is ganking bot lane. Kai'Sa did not have flash, used it before, but they do not take any of the blue team bot lane down, and that's kind of the the con, if I may say it. So with the Fiddlesticks jungle before level 6, we see that he tries to, or I think he feared the Kai'Sa, maybe even procced his silence and then flashed in, used his drain, but it doesn't do that much damage pre-level 6, especially if you don't get the full W duration off, so you get the last tick who does more damage than the rest of the W combined, the rest of Fiddlesticks drain. Red team, they will however take the Drake because they forced the blue team bot lane to reset after the gank. So it's a decent consolation prize. Always nice if you can get those early Drakes as Fiddlesticks, because you have a lot of sustain for the Drakes, but you do not have that much pressure by yourself, so you need to do a pre-Drake gank like we saw here, so you can get help from your bot lane. Maybe Gangplank will go down here to the Darius, taking a uncontested 1 against 1 fight here in the top lane that Gangplank will simply never win. Darius decides to back off instead of just waiting for his apprehend, his E to come off cooldown. So Gangplank survives this one. Here where Lux almost goes down to the center Jhin. Ahri is forced to flash away from the Corki and the Gatling gun in the mid lane. While Lux gets sniped with the Deadly Flourish. That's a free kill for Jhin, who is also up 20 CS to this Kai'Sa. So the red team ADC already starting to look pretty strong. It is also a great matchup for the Jhin. If he and Senna they land the root or stun early, they should just get the kill. But in this case, it was kind of the Lux just running it down. To be fair, she should never have been in that position. When you know there's a Jhin on the enemy team, you die to the Deadly Flourish, so why do you try and push up the wave when it's already on the enemy turret? Fiddlesticks here looking for a gank in the top lane. Again, still not level 6, 7.5 minutes into the game, so not much you can do. Doesn't have the Crow Storm available to him. HCC Flash engages with the Moonfall in the bot lane, has power farmed a couple more camps than Fiddlesticks, so he had his level 6 available to him. So even though Jhin flashes away, the Diana just flashes on top of him, and that's a free kill for bot lane. A great gank for Diana, who really took advantage of the fact that he had the level 6, he had his flash available to him, and which made him which allowed him to force this gank, even though the wave was in a bad state. Jhin wasn't really that far pushed forward. So yeah, just overall a great play from Diana here. Really utilizing that early ultimate that he had available to himself because of the power farming and the 1 kill that he got in the top lane on the Darius early. So a couple of good ganks here coming out from Diana. Already a 2-0 score in a game where there's a lot of members for red team who he can one-shot with his full combo and the Moonfall. The later in this game we will go. Let's see here, we have Fiddlestick moving mid lane. He does have his Crow Storm available to him now, but it will just be spotted out by a ward. Here's the Ahri. Also silent, doesn't think anything will happen here with the Ahri. Instead, Fiddlesticks overstays his welcome. I should rather say, ends up going down without really having any counterplay. Darius ignites the Gangplank, doesn't get the kill. Gangplank pops the Cannon Barrage and will also not take down the Darius, so no one actually goes down here in this top lane, where this Gangplank is playing really aggressive when you think about the fact that he's a Gangplank into a Darius. But maybe Darius will go down and he's tanking a whole minion wave, kind of instant away, but okay, this is a solo game, so sometimes things like this happens. Obviously Darius, a very strong champion, but when you're that low on HP that you can pretty much die to a parley and you tank 7, 8, 9 minions at the same time, I'm sorry to say it, but Darius is just not that strong, because that would be 200 years and we don't have that many 200 years champions in this game. So that's at least something that we can all enjoy. bot lane, a lot of abilities just missing the targets here. And yeah, this bot lane, I mean, it's pretty versatile how this can go, because you can see what happens here. Lux lands the Light Binding, and they will take down Senna. And can Jhin get anything here with the Curtain Call? While the camera pans to mid lane, so let's assume he doesn't get anything. Fiddlestick uses the Crow Storm in the mid lane, fears Ahri, and they will take down a kill onto the blue side mid laner, who did not have his ultimate available yet. It is up in just a couple of seconds. Was used before when they took down the Fiddlesticks, when he tried to gank level 5. But yeah, talking about the spot lane, it is 4 very squishy members. So whoever lands the first CC will probably have the upper hand here. If Lux lands the Light Binding onto either Senna or Jhin, there's the potential of the blue side bot lane having the damage to one-shot one of the red team bot lane members. And at the same time, it goes the other way. But let's see what happens. Diana is 4-0 now, completely one-shots the Fiddlesticks here with the Moonfall. Ahri uses the Spirit Rush to gap close its way onto the center, hits her with the charm, and takes her down with the Orb of Deception, Ahri's Q. And it looks like the blue team will also get the dragon here. 2 kills and a Drake for blue team. A great trade, which also gives the blue team a 2k gold lead, only 12 minutes into the game. And trying to talk about the bot lane for the 3rd time of this game. At the same time, if we look at Jhin, Senna, if they land the stun, a stun onto either Kai'Sa or Lux, I think they can also burst them with the damage that they have. So it makes this bot lane matchup very versatile, because it's really a skill matchup with the 4 champions you have, because it comes down to who lands their CC abilities, or rather who can chain their CC abilities best onto one of the opposing members in this bot lane matchup. Not that it looks to be the win con right now. The win con looks to be found in the jungle, where our main protagonist Diana is doing a great job so far with a 4-0 score, a 450 gold shutdown. Will the Darius try 1 versus 1 here against the Gangplank? He uses the Noxian Guillotine. I think this will be a 1-for-1, and it ends up being a 1-for-1. Gangplank gets the kill onto the Darius first, but as you know, if you kill a Darius and you end up being low, afterwards you will probably die to the bleed anyways. It ends up happening here. It's a 1-for-1. Not great for the Darius. He loses a wave or 2 that Fiddlestick is luckily there to pick up. Meanwhile, Diana goes in with the Moonfall in the bot lane, doesn't connect onto Jhin because he flashes away, but they still end up killing him. And yeah, it just looks like every time this Diana ganks, something good happens for the blue team. So far, it looks to be a pretty jungle diff game. Great ganks for HCC Positive, and I think we also start to see why he has decided to become a Diana player this season. Great proactive movements around the map. He understood that, well, when you play Diana, you have to CS until level 6. You don't want to go for any ganks unless it's free, as it was on the Darius in the level 3 gank that he did. Get that Moonfall available to you. Try and force some ganks onto squishy members, as he did in the bot lane. But let's see what happens here in the mid lane. Looks like both Corki and Ahri will escape the ganks that the 2 junglers did. Ahri ends up going down to the Crow Storm. What will happen here with Diana? Will she also go down? She will go down, and that's a double kill for Fiddlesticks. 1k gold just goes over to the red team jungle right here, and obviously that is what is always going to happen when I sit here and I praise one of the team's jungler. He will do a mistake, he will give up his shutdown, and they will give up 2 kills. They will also give up the mid turret here, and that takes red team all the way back into this game in just a matter of seconds. What will happen here in the top lane? Darius doesn't manage to get the Noxian Guillotine off, which means that Gangplank actually survives this one. And a matchup that I personally would have thought would have gone the way of Darius the second that he has his Apprehend, his E available to him. So far ends up looking like a Gangplank favorite matchup, so maybe I'm just wrong about things here, where Ahri almost goes down, Senna flashes the final spark from Lux, and Jhin oversteps his welcome, once again goes down to Diana, who has the Moonfall available to her. Will Kai'Sa get a kill here onto the center? He does. Lux flashes the wall, decides to back off in the same moment he flashes the wall. So that was a kind of weird play, but a 2-for-0 so far for blue team. And the gold lead once again up to 2,000 gold. Yeah, a bit of a gold swing that we see in this mid game. Starting to look like a clean silver game, if you can say it like that. Diana will probably, or not Diana, I thought Lux would go down to the turret, but she uses the stopwatch instead, and they back off. They do not end up taking down this Fiddlesticks. Great use of Fiddlesticks and his own stopwatch. Instead, Lux ends up going down, doesn't have the flash available to her that she used right before. Let's see here, will Corgi get a kill with the Missile Barrage? Instead, well, let's see what happens here in the top lane. Is once again a 1-for-1. No one went down for blue team in the bot lane because of Kai'Sa. She used the heal to save the jungler and they take down Corgi. At the same time that it is another 1-for-1 trade in the top lane. Gangplank and Darius really fighting right now. And this blue side bot lane, and Diana and Ahri looking very low right now, so I think it's best that they back off as they try and do here. Jhin went for a snipe with Deadly Flourish, doesn't end up taking down the Ahri, but if you look at the left of your screen, it was very close that she went down to the Deadly Flourish from the red team ADC. 22 kills so far in 17 minutes. Will Lux take down Senna? She will, and that is a silver support, a Lux support coming into play here. Corgi TP's in with the package. Will they go for a kill onto the Lux here? Engages. Jhin once again is taken down by Diana. Corgi also goes down, and at this point, red team is just running it. This Jhin, I think, all 4 deaths he has been to Diana with the Moonfall all 4 times. So this Diana, she's figured out just stay around the spot lane because Senna and Jhin, they will run it down. Let's see what happens here with the Fiddlestick. Uses the Crow Storm on top of the Kai'Sa, also takes it down, but goes down to the Lux right afterwards. And yeah, this is the AP Lux that you want to have on your team, not the one that you will get. We all know when you have a Lux support on your team, she goes 0 and 10, tries to build full AP, and just ends up being very weak. But this Lux actually does some decent damage. We saw right before she one-shotted the red team, the red side support. Ahri here gets hit by the Deadly Flourish, manages to use the Spirit Rush to escape, looks like. Corgi flashes into the charm, is taken down by Gangplank. Gangplank also takes down Jhin. Jhin, who at the moment just spawns, runs it down, dies. Spawns, runs it down and dies. And what will happen here with Diana? She's topside, doesn't have the Moonfall available to her right now. Kai'Sa is also here, and they take down the Darius. That's 6 death for the red side top laner. Already 19 minutes into the game. And red team is looking kind of lost right now. It looked good when they got the double kill mid lane. They got the shutdown onto Diana. It's probably 5, 6, 7 minutes ago now. They took the Herald, they took the mid turret, they clawed back this gold lead. But now in just a couple of minutes, maybe 5, 6 minutes, the gold lead has gone to a 6,000 gold lead. 6,000 gold to the blue team here. Yeah, things are not looking great for red team. What you can say is at least they do have the double ADC. That's great scaling. They also have the center support. That's infinite scaling right there. They do have the Fiddlesticks, who is great for team fights, can do some great engage. So they do have the potential to play this game out, scale maybe 10-15 minutes more, so get a couple of items, maybe 2-3 items. And then look for a team fight with the Crow Storm Darius pops the gold here, tries to engage onto the Ahri. Also, the Fiddlesticks enters the fight with the Crowstorm, fears both members, and they get another 2-for-0 trade here. I think Fiddlesticks takes down Diana once again, gets another shot down, and once again, this Diana gets really fit, gets 4 kills, and then just dies a place where he doesn't have to die, because obviously you shouldn't be pushed that far up to the tier 2 top side turret when you don't have any vision in the enemy team's top side jungle. And if you look at your minimap, you see absolutely no blue wards in the top side in the red side top jungle. So yeah, not clever to be there. They get punished by the Fiddlesticks. Here where Kai'Sa is rooted, Jhin pops a curtain call, doesn't look like there will be any kills. But yeah, this play that happened in the top lane a minute ago that took down the Diana and the Ahri, I think it was, just goes to show that even though red team, they are really far behind, if they get this engage off, if they get, well, I don't think it's really a win con to count on Darius engaging with an apprehend, but we saw Fiddlesticks engaging with the Crowstorm, and if they can get a good Crowstorm fear onto 2, 3, maybe 4 members of blue team, they can clean up and they can win the fight, even though they are 5k behind as they are right now. And right now we have Fiddlesticks in a great position, takes the blast cone over the wall, is hit by the light binding from Lux, uses the Sonya's hourglass. Kai'Sa goes in with the killer instinct, I think, to escape the fight. No one goes down so far. Gangplank misses the barrels, and will he... Oh, he actually already used his cannon barrage, so doesn't have that available to him. Jhin just reset here, and nothing. No one ends up going down, even though it's a 5 vs 5 down here. I just had to say that. Fiddlestick goes down, is caught out by Ahri, caught out with a charm, and the Spirit Rush over the wall from this Ahri. So yeah, 1-for-0 for blue team right now, and it is 22 to 11 kills, a 33 kill game, only 22 minutes into the game, and it's starting to look like a silver game. Let's just put it like that. Blue team pushing down bot lane here. Lux just going for some poke with the final spark, I think. No members of the red team was really low there. So blue team, will they take the Drake here and reset? Well, they do take the Drake, and that is 2 Drakes for blue team, 2 Drakes for red team. They decide not to recall, they want to go for another pick onto this Jhin. And at this point they're just bullying him. Every time they can, they're trying to force a play onto the Jhin. Doesn't look like it will work at this moment. They have no minions available to them. And at the same time, Darius just pushing down this top lane, decides to reset. And you're probably thinking right now, why are blue team pushing down this bot side wave? Because obviously red team, they can just clear the minions. Great dupe from Senna here. Jukes the final spark, will maybe go down to the cannon barrage. Instead, Gangplank goes down to Darius, who reset from top side and went down here. A great Crowstorm from Fiddlesticks. Takes down Ahri. The Lux escapes with very low HP and ends up going down to the Kai'Sa. Instead, over chases here. Was greedy to kill the Lux. Doesn't happen, ends up going down to the Kai'Sa, and that's a free kill. And I think that it was a 2-for-2 trade, maybe a 3-for-2 for the blue team. And yeah, so what's the play now? You just took down the Drake. You have 2 mid-side or mid-lane turrets when you're blue team, or you've taken down 2 turrets for red team here. You've taken down the top lane tier 1, you've taken down the bot lane tier 1. So obviously now what you want to do is you want to look for this Baron. Maybe not, you don't need to take the Baron, because you have great all-in potential onto these squishy members for red team, and you do not need to make it a 50-50. So put a pink, or rather if I should say a control wall onto the Baron toward the top side jungle of red team. Look for any picks because they have to come and check this Baron, or just give it up if they do not, or they have to just give the Baron up and then just take it as blue team for free. Instead, Gangplank looks to do something. I'm not quite sure what he wants to do. Lux is also caught out, hit by the Noxian Guillotine, also ends up going down. What happens here? The Corgi is also caught out. What is happening right now? There's just 3 players running down for the 2 teams right here. Yeah, I wanted to say that red team should probably have forced the Baron after getting the 2 kills, but instead Corgi tried to 1v2 down the bot lane, so I don't think they will get the Baron here. They do not have that much DPS. Ahri tries to assassinate the center, doesn't work out. And red team, they are trying to take down this Baron. We see Diana moving her way up here to the Baron. Goes in with the Moonfall. Only lands onto 1 member. Will Fiddlesticks go down here to the Baron? Ends up going down to the Gangplank ultimate. Cannon Barrage kills him. Meanwhile, Kai'Sa takes down the Jhin. Darius will also go down here to the Ahri and the Orb of Deception, I think, and Diana also ends up taking the Baron. So disaster for red team here. If instead of trying to 1v2 the bot lane, Senna also goes down. If the Corgi just backed off the bot lane when red team killed the Lux and Gangplank, I think it was, just TPs to Baron, you have 5 members of red team on the Baron against the 3 members alive from blue team, and you either get the Baron for free, or you at least force blue team to a 3 versus 5 fight where you have great chances of winning the fight, even though you're behind. Let's see here, Kai'Sa lands the Killer Instinct onto, or rather lands the Void Seeker onto Corgi, goes in with the Killer Instinct and takes him down. They will also take the mid lane inhibitor turret here. Will they go for the inhib? Doesn't look like it. They will back off and also take the top lane inhibitor turret here for red team. Darius misses the apprehend, which means that now red team, they have no engage other than the Crow Storm, which will be very difficult to hit and get the fear off when you are inside your own base. So how you want to play this Fiddlesticks in not only in this matchup but generally. Let's see if anything is going to happen here at the mid lane inhibitor. Will red team just give it up? It looks like it. There is pops the ghost. It's taken low. Fiddlesticks goes in with the Crow Storm, doesn't use the Sunny's Hourglass, just ends up going down. It is a 1-for-1 so far. Corgi takes down the Gangplank, so it is a 2-for-1 for red team here. Actually ends up being a pretty great play, even though it wasn't the best Crow Storm. It was envisioned when Fiddlesticks used his Crow Storm, which is why none of the members from blue teams, they were feared, because you have to be out of vision whenever you engage with the Crow Storm in order for the ability to fear the enemies. Doesn't happen here. It still ends up being a 2-for-1 for red team. So overall a great play, even though Fiddlesticks ends up going down. Doesn't use his Sonias. But yeah, if the Fiddlesticks can get his Rabadon's death cap here, he will be in a great spot, to be fair. Will be able to do a lot of damage onto the members here of blue team, because blue team, well, we have to remember, red team, they are very squishy. They're only kind of off tank is the top lane of Darius, but if we look at blue team, well, there's no tank at all. Gangplank uses the Cannon Barrage. The bot lane doesn't really know why he did that. Maybe a misclick, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, blue team, they have no tank, so if Fiddlesticks can get this death cap and can get a good Crow Storm off onto a couple of members, I still think that red team has a great chance here, even though it is an 9k gold lead now for blue team. Still no inhibitors has gone down. So yeah, red team here, you want to look for a 5v5 team fight with the Crow Storm engaged, get a couple of kills here, and then look for a turret of 2 to get those sweet objective bounties that is available to red team right now. You can see it on your minimap at the turrets, outer turrets available to them, and the inner turret in the mid lane, the tier 2 turret in the top lane. They have this little orange field around them, which means that the objective bounty is available. Fiddlesticks here goes in with the Crowstorm. They get the 700 gold shutdown onto the Kai'Sa. At the same time, they decide to fight in bot lane. Why do they have to do that? You just got a great pick in the mid lane, and then you decide to go in. There is at the best you can get a 3 versus 4 in the bot lane. Gangplank flashes the stun from Senna and executes her with the pile, even though she was 50% HP. It is a 3-for-1 so far cross map, maybe a 4-for-1 for blue team here. Disaster after you get a great pick in the mid lane. Why do you have to take this trying to force this fight in bot lane? Just settle for what you get. You get 1k gold for free. Try and get some vision instead. Look for another team fight when you have the Crowstorm available to you. Again, it's very low cooldown at this point in the game. But instead they go in, they lose 4 members. Gangplank teleports top lane, takes down the top lane inhib, takes down the mid inhib, will probably reset now, and then blue team, they can just look for either the next Baron and the next Dragon, whatever they want to go for. They are on Drake's soul point. Let's see if Lux will go down here to the curtain call, or can he do it? He cannot. Goes down to the curtain call. Not really a kill that red team can do anything with. They can try and get a couple of wards set up in the topside jungle to try and prepare for a fight that will probably happen at the next Baron, because I don't think they can afford to just give it away. Also, it's a blue team starting up the Baron. It's a great opportunity for red team to layer the Crowstorm onto a lot of members for blue team. If Fiddlesticks can get a great flank or just a decent flank with the Crowstorm, there's potential. And yeah, I talk a lot about the Crowstorm right now for this Fiddlesticks, but I think it's the only win condition that red team has at this point, because they are 13k behind. I don't think they will have the time to scale. Fiddlesticks here is assassinated by Ahri, has vision on him, uses the Spirit Rush to gap close, charms Fiddlesticks and kills him with the Orb of Deception before Fiddlesticks I don't even think he knew what was going on. But yeah, Baron's up. Doesn't look like blue team will go for it right now. I think instead they are waiting for this 4th Infernal Drake of the game to spawn and get the free Infernal Soul, which is also a great decision, to be fair. But yeah, red team, they have the 2 win conditions that they have is a great Crowstorm into a team fight win, or it is just to scale because you have double ADC. So eventually you will outscale, or actually you have triple ADC, but it is center support. So it's like, do you count it as an ADC or do you count it as a support? But you have double ADC, so if you can scale a couple more items, well, eventually you will be stronger, and you have a great team fight combo as well. Blue team doesn't have that great of a combo. Actually, it's decent. I just don't really like the Lux support, but they have great engage. But yeah, red team, they can try and look to scale. I just don't think that they have the that win condition available to them right now. 10k gold down. Senna goes down to the final spark here, or actually it was to the Cannon Barrage. And yeah, the problem is with red team right now, you just don't have the time to scale. You've already lost two inhibs, you're 10k down. You have to try and contest this Baron, but doesn't look like that. Red team will. Fiddlesticks is clearing minions in the bot lane, so this will be a free Baron here for blue team. And so what you can do now as blue team is probably, well, either you can push down all 3 lanes, because I think the mid and top side inhib is about to spawn in maybe a minute or so. So you want to obviously take those down again. But if you want to do or after the book, I should rather say, then you group now bot lane, because you already have 2 lanes pushing in top mid. You can send the Gangplank top if you want, because he has teleport, he has the Cannon Barrage that he can help with cross map. But you just want to push down this bot lane, because that's the only wave where you still don't have an inhib, or where red team has the inhib available to them. So you want to get this inhib so you get the double super minions in all 3 lanes, and that is exactly what it looks like blue team is trying to do here. They're pushing down bot lane, at the same time they're pushing down mid lane, they are also pushing down the top lane, which leaves the members in the mid lane kind of vulnerable, but as long as they have vision on the Fiddlesticks, there's really not much to worry about. Gangplank pop the Cannon Barrage just to force the red team members off this bot side turret, so they take down the turret. This means that it will also be the inhib going down, and that is 3 inhibs down for red team here. They are down Infernal Soul, down 11k gold, and at this point blue team, they can just start red team out here. I think what you want to do here as blue team, just get all 3 lanes pushing, take down the middle head that just spawned, and just look for a moonfall onto the members trying to defend the inhib turret. Instead, Gangplank flashes forward, ends up going down for it. I still think the blue team can end here. Diana goes and lands a 2-member moonfall onto the red team bot lane. Fiddlesticks flashes in with the Crowstorm, simply doesn't have enough damage. Diana ends up getting quadruple. Penta is stolen by Ahri and blue team. They take the game. 36 minutes, 42 kills for blue team here. It's more than a kill a minute. And this concludes a great game for HCC Positive on this Diana in silver. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. A great gameplay here, a great silver gameplay that we saw in this game, and it's starting to make sense why HCC Positive has decided to become a Diana jungle main. Very great, very good early game impact. Helped his team snowball a lot, all 3 lanes actually, with some great ganks both post and pre level 6. So yeah, overall great game from the Diana. Yeah, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you want me to cast one of the game, feel free to leave a comment, and yeah, until next time, see ya.